how to use a TheraWand. So a TheraWand is used to help yourself do trigger point releases, or if you have a lot of pelvic tension or tightness in your pelvic floor, learning to use TheraWand can really help progress your therapy quicker. It can help with maintenance, and if you're going on trips or something like that, that's usually how I have people help trigger point themselves. There's some other tricks for that as well, but learning how to use this appropriately is really important. This is an Intimate Rose brand. If you want a discount code, I have a discount code, and if you like these, there's 2 different colors that are vibrators or have vibration. So there's a purple one that does not have vibration, but if the theory behind vibration is the same pathway to the brain, pain and vibration. So if you allow vibration to hit a painful spot, then it will decrease the pain. So a lot of people understand it if they've had therapy to their shoulder or their back, and you go to traditional therapy and they put the stem on your back, or the E-stem. They can use TENS or IFC, and that is called the gate theory. So the job is to apply vibration to a painful spot to block the pathway to the brain for the pain. So my favorite 2 are the 2 colors that have vibration for that concept, not just the trigger pointing. So the TheraWand, there's 2 ends. This is the handle end where you're holding. This end is the trigger point end. So what you're going to do is basically just like my video about internal evaluations, everything is based on a clock, as if you're looking at the pelvic floor. You have 12, 6, 3, and 9. And so when you're entering the vaginal canal, which I'm going to pop up here in just a second so I can show you how to position yourself, you are going to try your best to put a little bit of coconut oil, or not a lot of lubrication at all, because you don't want it to slip out. You're going to place the end at the introitus, right at the introitus. And what's fascinating is once you go into the inner vaginal canal, you can reach all the pelvic floor muscles. So you're going around the clock and you're angling this so you can self-trigger point yourself. So if you have been to pelvic floor therapy and you know your tender spots, and you can go directly to it. But basically what you're doing is you're going inner vaginal. You're staying away from 6 because your bowel is right there and it doesn't feel great. You push down at 7 or 8 or 4 or 5, and you angle it towards the trigger point. And you hold that for about 10 seconds, and it's to your tolerance. So you want to apply pressure, but not horrible pain. Then you can apply the vibration. So there's a little button on here that will, as long as it's charged, it will apply vibration to the tender spot. So about 10 seconds on, relax, back off, and then go back on. And you can work your way around the entire clock of the pelvic floor. At 12 o'clock is your bladder, and it doesn't feel great whenever you push on it. So just be mindful of that. And you don't want to cause so much discomfort that your pelvic floor is going back up. So it's really a maintenance. I highly recommend, if you've ever been to a pelvic floor therapist, to get them to teach you your trigger point spots. But also, if you've never been treated by a pelvic floor therapist, if you can't figure it out, please contact one, at least get one consult. You can also use this one for peritoneal stretch. So if you are pregnant or you've had scarring, you have pain with penetration, the peritoneum should be nice and flexible like the web space of the hand. So if you think about the same clock, so 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock, you can push down and then sweep down this way. So whenever you're doing it to yourself, you're just barely in, you're pushing straight down, and you're sweeping, push and sweep the peritoneum and back off, push and sweep. Positioning, the best way to do it is to lay on your back. I tell people they can do it in a bathtub, but you can lay on your back, knees apart. I prefer people to be propped up on something, and your knees can be up against pillows. But basically what you're doing is you can go in open labia minora majora, place the base of it at the introitus, and you're able to angle your hand to trigger point it yourself. So you're angled here, trigger point, release, add the vibration, and then move on. So the textbook way to do it is to 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off, and then you can move on to the next trigger point. I tell people when they feel release, especially if they've been seen by a pelvic floor therapist, Usually they know the difference. So that is how you use a TheraWand. This is an Intimate Rose brand. You can buy it on their website or contact me directly for my discount code.